Hello everyone, this is Jimmy and welcome to episode 13 of QTech. Last episode we were making solar panels and guess what? We're going to continue doing that today. So we got up to Signalum tier, that is tier 4 of 7? So we have 3 tiers left. Next one is the resonant tier, but resonant solar panels require a little bit of lithium and indarium. So of these, indarium's trivially easy, right? That's just like a alloy smelter, lead, platinum, ender pearls. Sure, but lithium is a little bit more difficult. So we need mechanism lithium, which comes from a liquid lithium, I guess? Which comes from the thermal evaporation chamber processing brine, which is processed from a thermal evaporation chamber processing, come on, water. Alright, so we need 2 thermal evaporation chambers. Let's start there. Each one is a multi-block, so we need 2 controllers, a bunch of these blocks, and a couple ports each. Let me put all this crafting into refined storage and have it, do all the nested crafting for me. I've crafted up all our supplies, so 2 controllers, one for each multi-block. I think we need 6 valves. It's possible to use less valves. However, I'm going to use mechanism piping for all this. So you need fluid in, fluid out, and heat in. So that's 3 valves per machine. And because, mechanism pipes can't share, you can't put multiple pipes in one block space, you need 3 valves per. And then just a whole bunch of thermal evaporation blocks. This is probably more than we need, but go big or go home, right? All right, so the machine itself is a 4x3. It's kind of strange shape, but 4x3 and hollow with an open top. So let's start by building out the basic shape. And the actual height is up to you. We're going to start with a short one, but we're probably going to make it taller because taller ones run more efficiently. So there's, let's see, I think you need at least 1 valve for it to form the multi-block. And it does say incomplete. Maybe you need 2 valves for it to form the multi-block? Are you complete now? No? Maybe it needs to be 1 block taller to be complete. I forget the exact details. We're working off memory here. It's also possible the mechanic has changed in mechanism versions. It still says incomplete. Alright, I'm doing something wrong then. Turns out I was wrong when I said it was a 4x3. It's actually a 4x4 multi-block. So even numbers in both dimensions making it impossible to fit into builds. At least for me, because all my builds are, I build on a odd size grid most of the time. But in any event, voila. That's that 4x4. If at first you don't succeed, I don't know, give up. But hey, we did it. Alright, so now that we've formed the thermal evaporation plant, we need to give it input. So that'll be in the form of water into the first one. We dig out a little water field here and I have a pump on me. Which way? I want power facing that way. This here being a thermal evaporation plant, you also have to provide heat to it somehow. So, hold on, are you pumping? Okay, I guess you are. I just don't see it. There's a couple ways you can do it. The free way, per se, is to use solar generators. So these just, turn solar energy into heat. However, solar generators have the downside of only working during the day. So the better solution is to use a resistive heater. Which side does heat come out? I'm not actually sure. Let me play around with this a bit. But a resistive heater, you provide it with RF and tell it how much RF to use, and it generates heat based on that. So I think it outputs heat on all sides, and it just only inputs energy. Yeah, only inputs energy on the green dot sides. So we'll put it here. Perfect. Now we make a lot of energy, so the default configuration is to use 40 FE a tick, and that's serviceable and all. It gets our plant, well, as the plant gets hotter, it produces more brine per tick. But this is not going, we can afford to spend way more than 40 FE a tick on it. I don't think there's a limit. Like if I wanted to give it 100,000, I could. Or I selected 1 million. but we don't make that much energy. So let's go with 1,000 for now. So that gets it to a reasonably high temperature. It'll cause our plant to make, well, I guess now our plant's full. It's up at 53 kilokelvin. That's significantly hotter than the inside of stars. But, there's water in there. Anyways, this is step one. This turns water into brine. Now I just need to make a second one of these plants to turn our brine into lithium. Ta-da! The second plant is formed. I have it being heated likewise with a resistive heater, and it's already up to 4,000 kilokelvin and climbing. Now it does start losing heat once you actually put stuff into it, so I need the fluid pipe. I have one left. Perfect. Put you here and configure side to extract. Alright, so that starts pumping brine into this one, and apparently as fast as I can pump brine in, it melts, or it turns into lithium. So I guess if I wanted more, I'd have to make this one hotter, but 75 millibuckets a tick, and whatever. This is good enough for now. Using 2,000 RF a tick to make liquid lithium. So I think I have to take this liquid, turn it into gaseous lithium. So we'll need a condensator, and then crystallize that into lithium dust. These two machines are just stacked up here. So one of them turns liquid lithium, which is what our thermal evaporation chamber produces, into regular lithium, and then that is regular being gaseous form lithium, and this machine takes gaseous form lithium and turns it into dust, which gets stored in a bin, which is attached to a external storage. So if I look up lithium now, 35. Now let's just make sure this entire process is running start to end. Looks like we're not quite pumping enough water. I did put full upgrades in this already. So if we needed more, I could put another pump here, but we probably honestly just don't need more. It's also 36 kilokelvin now. That's really hot, by the way. Or kilocelsius? I mean, kilocelsius and kilokelvin are basically the same. In fact, I'm pretty sure it's hot enough in there to do nuclear fusion of just about anything. So, that's kind of suspicious. Anyways, it's a bit cooler in this one. This is only 14.5 kilokelvin. Alright, well, whatever. Lithium is being produced, and we probably only need like a stack or two of it. So the fact that I'm producing it this quick is definitely overkill. But now I think we can encode these recipes. And I should be able to request a resonant solar panel. Alright, let's see. I need more blaze rods, and I never taught it how to make Indarium. Alright, let's fix that really quick. I never did set up a fully automated way to kill these blazes. It turns out we need a lot of blaze rods, like more than I can reasonably just run in here and gather by hitting them. I'll probably set something up. Although, once we have the spawner, that's the hard part of it out of the way. It's just, there is no, there's no mob grinder that can hit the entire room. So I'd have to use like vector plates, I guess, to push mobs into a corner. For now, I just kill them by hand. That'll do. Fire hurts. Let's try that solar panel again. The resonant one. Alright, looks good. Ooh, that's a lot of steel. Besides that, nothing here looks all that unreasonable. Alright, well, let's hit the go button. It's going to take it some time to make all that steel, because, I mean, while this machine is fast, it's just, we're still asking it to do a whole lot of work. Now that there's a bunch of machines running right now, right, we have our metallurgic infusers running. I guess the enricher isn't running, but our smelter's running to turn the steel dust into steel. Our reactor is now running at a somewhat decent uptime. Whenever this redstone turns on, it runs for a couple of ticks, brings this cube full enough. In fact, it charges all the cubes a little bit, but and then it turns off again, so it's such as not to waste power. About 5 minutes later, I check the crafting status, and it looks like all our steel is made. The bottleneck is actually turning steel into nuggets. So if I can find which crafter that's in, and I have literally no clue which one that would be in, I can put speed upgrades in it. Let's see, it's got to be here somewhere. Oh, that one looks like it. Aha! So that should speed things up a little bit. Oh yeah, now we're blazing. And these are crafting. So it should just be another, I don't know, maybe minute of crafting before we're done here. It's probably less than that. If I just leave this open, I think 100 crafting tasks. Alright, I'm not going to leave this open. This will take like 30 seconds. The end is in sight. We're almost at a resonant solar panel. We only need 64 of these total, I think. Ah, we're done. All right. Well, let's grab that one and complete the quest. Nice. Next is an advanced solar panel. All right, let's put this back because we're not going to use it and see what an advanced panel takes. So, advanced uses an advanced core, osmium crystals, and lithium ingots. And I think I've already made spirited crystals, right? We made that for our reactor. Okay, so lumium I've already made. Now osmium crystals. Here's a reasonably long process. Let's work backwards. Osmium crystals are made with clean osmium in a chemical crystallizer. Let's clear all this off too. Clean osmium is water plus osmium in a chemical washer. And this is sulfuric acid plus osmium ore in a chemical dissolution chamber, which sulfuric acid, oh boy, it keeps going, is sulfur trioxide and water vapor. And sulfur trioxide is oxygen and sulfur dioxide. And sulfur dioxide is made from sulfur dust. Alright, let's dive in. Wait, just kidding. That is not all. Sulfur dust doesn't drop in this pack. Normally, well, not normally, but in thermal packs, it drops from blazes. Because there's no thermal in this pack, or it's a mechanism pack, we have to make it. So that's another machine. So I guess let's start from the beginning and make sulfur dust. So that's water, oxygen, and coal of some description. Make sulfur and some byproduct. I looked through this process again and I noticed some resources are used throughout. So water and its products, hydrogen and oxygen, are used quite thoroughly throughout this process. So I figured I should set up a machine that can produce both water and, or that can produce both hydrogen and oxygen. However, I also want it to automatically shut off once both output tanks are full, and as another condition, I want it to be able to have either product as its output. So basically, I want both to dump excess, but I don't want it to dump excess if both are full. So to set that up, I have this one configured to run with a redstone signal, and that's our electric lytic separator, and I'm measuring the fullness of both gas tanks. If they are both full, then this logic gate, it's an AND gate, right, of these two signals. If they are both full, that is both A and B are, wait, no, I have the wrong channels, hold on. Let me, I'm using A and C channel here, 1 second. All right, here we go, logic fix. So it's if A and C are both on, then I want the output to be off. So it's a NAND gate, not AND, of A and C. All right, so the hydrogen's filled up, but as you can see, it's continuing to run. And eventually, when this oxygen tank fills up, that is when it, emits a redstone strength of 15, which should be very soon. I'm also providing water through the refined storage system instead of just putting a water pump on site. There's, again, enough different things that consume water that I don't want to just have like 50,000 pumps laying around. All right, so this tank should fill up very shortly. And when that happens, we should see the machine turn off. Aha, see? Tank turns on, machine turns off because it is no longer receiving a redstone signal, and we can see its buffer is filling up. Cool. So this way we don't waste energy powering, both, or we don't waste energy electrolyzing water when we throw both ingredients away. All right, that's hydrogen and oxygen. Now let's get to actually step one, which is the pressurized reaction chamber. I guess these are gases, aren't they? I can't. Does refined storage handle gas? No, it doesn't, does it? I was going to transfer them through the refined storage system too, but that's not going to work, is it? Well, drat. Since the only system, once again, that can do multiple different, item, gas, fluid types in one block space is XNet, we once again turn to XNet for automation here. So I need to put coal, water, and something. Coal, water, and oxygen into a pressurized reaction chamber. And I think that's what I have here. So I have water and coal. And I need to figure out why oxygen isn't going into there. So I have on my gas channel, right? I'm extracting from these two tanks. One of them is my oxygen tank, I'm sure. I have to set the top face to actually be extractable. There we go. And now we are making sulfur. All right, so this makes a hydrogen byproduct. I don't care for it. I'm just going to avoid all of it. So let's get a tank. And we'll just set it to void excess. I just tuck our trash gas tank underneath. Let's configure our thing to push gases down. And this gas tank voids excess. So we can hide it away and no one ever has to see it. All right. Cool. Step one done. Now I need to take this sulfur dust and turn it into sulfur dioxide, I guess. And then mix that with oxygen. I honestly don't get why Mechanism still has two different classes of machines. There's machines like this, which are fully configurable, right? You can choose what goes in which sides and what comes out which sides. There's machines like this which have big square and little square, and you're kind of forced to guess what the heck is big square and what the heck is little square. And you they're fixed positions relative to each other, and it's like I don't know, why can't you just let me configure what every machine, the sidedness for every machine. Anyways, turns out big square is item in and little square is, I assume this is a gas. Sulfur dioxide is, no, it is a gas. So little square is gas out. The chemical infuser is yet another mystery. So I placed it here. Turns out little square is gas in. Oh, this one has green square too. This one only accepts energy on one side. I suspect it's gas in the two sides, gas out the center. I guess I'll try that. So if I put it here, the sulfur dioxide gets auto-pushed. So I need a connector here to push the oxygen or hydrogen, whatever it needs, in. Indeed, that appears to be the case. So we are now making sulfur trioxide. All right, connect that up so I can access it. And now I just need to make water vapor as well, because obviously using water is unreasonable. We have to turn it into water vapor to make sulfuric acid. It occurred to me that I don't need all the intermediates on my XNet channels. I just need sulfuric acid. So water turns into water vapor because this added complexity makes the game so much more fun. And then water vapor and sulfur trioxide make sulfuric acid. All right, well, that's about half the chemistry done, I think. Next, we need a dissolution chamber to dissolve some osmium ore. In fact, I should get some osmium ore before I turn it all into ingots. I think I'm just going to stop processing osmium ore now. The chemical dissolution chamber doesn't have enough squares on it, right? It has two inputs, fluid input, item input, and one output, but there's only two squares on it. I don't understand. Big square used to be... big square in this one was... it's on this face, right? So big square is gas input. So I guess item input can come from any side? I don't understand. If my hunch is right, I can supply osmium ore here, and haha! Okay, so it does work. Looks like small or big square is gas in, and I assume small square will be gas out. So this is osmium in gas form, I believe. Which next I need to wash it in a chemical washer. So that's what this machine is. I assume, again, big square is wait. Big square is normally gas in, right? You know what? Let's just get a pipe and see what happens. I'm kind of sick of guessing here. Gas pipe. That didn't work. Let's try turning this machine around. There we go. Okay. So now little square is gas in, not big square anymore, because we want to confuse people. No, we would hate to do that. No one's confused here. I assume big square is water in. Indeed, big square is water in, so that makes clean osmium. All right, we're getting there, and all that's left is to crystallize it. So I assume small square is the output, and I assume this has a big square. So big square goes up against small square, except when it doesn't, because big square goes up against I don't even know anymore. Nope, doesn't go this way. Apparently small square is input this time and big square is output. Who'd have thought, eh? Anyways, we're done. This makes osmium crystals. Thank goodness. Alright, I'm gonna put a chest here and just store it in a chest. Now, if I wanted to go further, I could take these osmium crystals and turn them into shards, then into clumps, then into dirty dust, then into ingots. This is part of Mechanism's 5x ore processing system. It's way more work than it's worth. If I want to 5x my ores, I'll just dig up twice as many ores and 6x them instead, effectively speaking. Alright, well anyways, now that we have those crystals, I think I can encode the recipe and we can see about making the advanced solar. So, yeah, we don't need lumium. We already know how to make lumium. So it's just these two. Now this crafting will definitely take a fair bit of time because we have to craft 7 more of the solars we just did. But advanced solar panel. Alright, we need more glowstone, more HDPE sheets, and more blaze rods. I guess it's probably time we set up that actual blaze farm. I have this perfectly good room, so we may as well make use of it. I'll put a cardboard box over the spawner just to turn it off. Clear out everything in here one time. Don't shoot me. Please don't shoot me. Thank you. And then I'll use vector plates to, where are they? To push mobs into a corner, and then I'll kill them by having them stand on a player trap. Apparently this room is not a 9x9 like I thought it was. It's a 9x8. But I'm too lazy to knock out that wall and fix it. So anyways, all the pieces are down. Let's get ready to pull this off. Put one more piece there and then walk out. Thankfully, if you hold shift, you can walk on vector plates without them pushing you. And if the mobs don't get aggroed by anything, they just sit there and happily die. Alright, so we'll put a chest here to hold stuff and ender hopper to pick stuff up. Alright, so here's our blaze rod farm. It's gonna take it, I needed like 50 blaze rods. I guess I'll just leave this here to get blaze rods while I go to the nether and mine a little bit of glowstone. I mined for a couple minutes in the nether, but I also realized I never actually chunk loaded this, so I'm probably not getting many blaze rods. We can make a chunk loader quite easily. In fact, let's get in wireless range, make one, and drop it off here. I also didn't make a magnet, so mining nether or glowstone is kind of a pain without it because it falls everywhere. So I think I'll make this chunk loader, chunk load that, and then make a magnet and go mine for a little while. I think magnets are quite cheap in this pack. Right? Yeah, so a basic magnet is super cheap. Oh. If I can make one. basic magnet is basically just an ender pearl. And then tier 2 magnet is just some gold, and tier 3 magnet. So it has a range of 12. It's pretty good. The trunk loader apparently uses ender pearls as fuel. So 33 minutes per ender pearl, huh? I only need like 10 minutes of trunk loading. Unfortunately, it just means I need to get back in wireless transmitter range. Alright, how much do you get? You only get 45 minutes per end crystal. Not worth. Alright, so that gives us 20, or, oh, I guess it consumes them one at a time. 6 hours worth of trunk loading. Plenty. In addition to the magnet, I made myself an atomic disassembler to help with mining this. I should be able to, whoopsies, is there a button I need to click? Or mode I needed to put it on? Vein, here we go. And apparently it doesn't count glowstone as an ore. Well, never mind. It's less efficient than I thought. I don't know if I'm just unlucky or the trunk loader doesn't work, but I only have 17 blaze rods. Maybe the trunk loader only, this is the Hockey F3G, only loads the trunk it's in. But the spawner is in this trunk, right? Yeah. So I don't know why I only got 19 blaze rods in the entire time I went out to mine, but I think I'm just gonna kill them by hand for a little bit because I have looting on my sword. That farm back there is a little slow, but now that it's only slow because I needed the materials out of it immediately. Now that it'll have, some time to run before I need its stuff again, I think we'll be fine. So let's take a look at this crafting plan now. That's a lot of lead, but the one that concerns me, okay, no, that's a lot of glass, but we have a lot of glass. 86,000 photovoltaic cells. Yeah, where is the steel? 10,000 steel, huh? I'm going to hit the craft button here, but this is probably going to take it a good half an hour or so to craft. So how about, let's wrap up today's episode here. This is from when I made HTTP sheets earlier. But how about we'll wrap up today's episode here and let this craft between episodes. Tomorrow we'll come back once our advanced solar power panel is done and begin working towards the last step, the ultimate solar panel. While there's technically only one more core I have to work on, there's a bit of stuff in here we needed for it. We need another star to get nitro cores. We need liquid DT fuel. And we need to make 8 total advanced solars. So tomorrow we'll make the ultimate solar panel and finish out the pack. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I hope to see you in the finale. Take care. Bye-bye.